Good morning, my lovelies, and happy Monday. We have entered the sub 7 week mark out for NPC Nationals, and I'm going to take you guys with me through what 6 weeks out is going to look like, and maybe do some full day of eats and what my life looks like, because my life is a little bit crazy. So starting off, obviously we have meal one in front of us. Today is a rest day for me, thankfully. So I start my meals off with this one. This typically doesn't come until 3 p.m. for me on training days, but I am always so happy when I finally get to eat it first thing in the morning. So right here we have like a little egg situation. It's spinach, mushrooms, bell peppers with some whole eggs, and then I top it with some sriracha and some everything bagel seasoning. And then moving on to the star of the show, my overnight oat ninja creamy. So on rest days, it is 60 grams of oats with 100 grams of berries and water. And then I have some flavorings in there and some stevia. So my favorite is to do strawberry peanut butter. So it's like a peanut butter and jelly situation. And I get this stuff on Amazon. They make this Texas peanut butter flavor fountain. She is so good. It is the best peanut butter flavoring I've ever had. I top it with a little bit of cashew butter and some pink salt. The pink salt on top of the overnight oat creamy always hits. And then right here I have my cold brew. Today I have a French vanilla with some French vanilla sugar-free coffee mate creamer and some Trader Joe's stevia drops. She always hits. I got this cute little cup at like a little antique store. Someone had made it, I don't know, like handmade or whatever, but it says every day I'm guzzling, and it's like a bunch of like cheesy workout stuff, and it was the only like fitness related one that was there, so I was like, of course I have to get it, and it was $5, so really can't go wrong. But I also have my supplement salad in my hand, so I'm gonna take that first. For supplements, I just take like the stereotypical like magnesium glycinate, like a multi. I also am taking Complete Vital and glucose by Revive MD. Honestly, like I didn't realize how good they were for me until I got on them, and my blood work has been fantastic. But they are a bit pricey, so that is the downfall of that. And I also take things like NAC and digestive enzymes, so that's what's in the supplement salad. Bestie, this is hitting so good right now. But as for what's going on in my morning, I have about 40 minutes before I need to leave, because today is one of my really, really long days. So if you don't know anything about me, I am a grad student. I also have a full-time job, and I do bodybuilding and also do a whole lot of other stuff. But as a part of my graduate studies, I do have an internship that I need to complete 300 hours for this semester. I do need to do 700 hours total, which I think is crazy for the time span that it's in. But I digress. I have to go to my internship site Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so today, tomorrow, and the next day. And that is until about 2:30, 3 p.m. And then I leave there, change, and then I have class. So I have to drive the 45 minutes up to my university, and then I have a 3.5-hour class, and then I have to drive home, meal prep for the next day, and then go to bed. So that's Monday through Wednesday for me, which is super busy. So once I get done eating, I'm going to get dressed and get ready to go to my internship site. So can't wait for that, but time to grub. On my training days, I get avocado on top of this egg situation, and let me tell you, 1,000 times better. Cheers. With the everything bagel seasoning. Dang, that is so good. Alright, let me show you guys my creamy. So she's looking real cute. She's nice and thick. Damn. Okay. Yeah, so she nice and thick. If you're not salting your creamies, I swear, you need to salt them immediately and then report back and tell me how right I was, because salt on top of a Ninja Creamy makes it 1,000 times better. But I'm going to finish grubbing, and then I'm going to get ready, and then I'm going to take you with me to my internship. So I will see you all in a second. Okay, so here's what the fit is giving. It's giving kind of cute, kind of young. I didn't know if I mentioned this, but I do work in a school, specifically an elementary school. I'm a counselor. And yeah, so today is Monday. Yesterday the Bills played, so of course I have my little Josh Allen Bills sweater on. Obviously, it's in an Eras Tour referenced print with this cute little oversized jean jacket on top and sneakers, because the kids are kind of crazy, and if there's one recommendation I have for anyone that works in an elementary school, do not wear heels, do not wear uncomfortable shoes. Flats or sneakers are going to be your best friend. So I have that, and then I have a meeting later, and then I have class after that. So let's get this show on the road. Okay, so today is unusual because I had to leave my internship site just a little bit early because your girlie has to go to her next internship site. So as part of my grad program, I need to go to a variety of different places to intern at to get a variety of experiences. And one of those things is interning at different schools. Now, your girl needs to get ready for her very last placement, which means that I need to switch schools once again. So, I have a meeting with my next site supervisor for the upcoming semester. I have that to do, and honestly, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous and a little bit frazzled. It's a lot juggling being a grad student and being a bodybuilder and being a full-time employee, but your girl makes it work. One of the things, a nice Ghost Any, the Strawbango. Strawbango is easily one of my favorite flavors, so shameless plug. I love this stuff, but when it comes to being so busy and managing like my mental health and my bodybuilding related things, I really need to be on top of my stuff. Every night when I have these really long gauntlet days, I need to make sure that I am not only prepared for the entire day, so I have all 6 of my meals prepped, but that I look professional, that I plan out my lifts and my steps accordingly. Like I said this morning, I needed to get steps in before I left because the job that I work is very sedentary. We don't really move around a lot, and I still need to hit 8 to 10K steps a day. So Monday through Wednesday, I have to wake up 20 minutes early and get 20 minutes of steps in so that I don't have that at the end of the night, because I go right from one thing to the next. I go from my internship straight to my class and then straight home to meal prep at 8 p.m. And then I also have to try to get 8 hours of sleep a night. Now, it gets even harder because Tuesday and Wednesday, I have lifts those days. So that just means I need to be diligent about my time. So, all things said, I am managing everything quite well, all things considered, but like I'd be a liar if I said it wasn't hard. One of the things that I do is I really try to keep to like a timetable, and then also making sure that I keep a journal and I take care of my mental health. So the timetable, I quite literally have like a Google Calendar that has every single event that I have to do for the week all booked out. And you might think that's crazy, but I quite literally have like my meals timed out. I have every single thing down to like the minute. Like right now, it was time for meal 3. So I had to eat my meal 3 on the drive over here. Could I have waited and eaten it once I got here? Sure. But that's another thing about bodybuilding is that like you have to commit to the regimen, and I didn't want to eat my meal 30 minutes later because that all impacts my digestion. I would have been thinking about it. I would have been stressed. So I was just like, you know what? No, we're going to eat it on the drive here. So now I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting to go in and just hoping for the best. So wish your girl some luck. And let's hope that, you know, everything goes according to plan. I got into a really bad comparison mindset this morning. The first thing I did was open Instagram this morning, and I knew that was an awful idea. So when you're waking up, the first thing that happens is your mind is very impressionable because you're coming out of sleep. So you want to start your day off with a positive mindset. So I try to not open social media first thing in the morning because, one, I don't know what I'm going to get, and two, I don't know how it's going to impact my mood. So I tried to turn on, like, a positive podcast, like the Mel Robbins podcast. Like, I've been loving that one. And she has, like, over 300 episodes, and they're all over an hour long. So those are good to start my day off with. But, of course, I started my day off with Instagram, and, of course, I got into a bad comparison mindset. And I just didn't feel good about myself, and I felt bloated, and I just, like, was feeling kind of down. So today is all about sticking to the plan because check-ins are tomorrow, bringing up my mindset, and just going throughout my day and checking off these boxes. And that's what bodybuilding is a majority of the time, is just checking off the boxes every single day, doing your non-negotiables every single day like clockwork, and staying in routine. So especially on days like today where I'm ultra busy, just being diligent and making sure that I am performing like a pro. Because if I want to have a pro level physique, if I want to be good in this bodybuilding space, I just need to act like a pro and have a pro mindset. So now that I'm ready and taking a big girl breath, I am going to head inside, hope for the best, leave, grab my stuff from my house because I didn't bring everything for class, and then head off to class. So I will see you all later. Wish me luck. All right, besties. Internship interview is over, and now we are home and preparing for my class. So thankfully, I got out of my interview quite early, a lot earlier than I expected, actually. Typically, these things go quite long, but we were lucky this time around. So now I am home with a little bit of time to spare. So what I am doing is being a little bit proactive and trying to meal prep for tomorrow. So we are just going to go through this together. So while I'm doing this, I figured I'd show you. I am making my overnight oats creamy. So my creamy calls for 80 grams of oats, but you can use however many oats fit into your meal plan. The more the better typically, but obviously we all have different macros and different needs. Next, I have 100 grams of berries. So I have frozen because they're just cheaper, and your girl is balling on a budget, obviously. But you can use whatever berries you'd like. I think that this could go with pretty much any berry or any like additive, but I like strawberries. You can use blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, or whatever fruit kind of sounds good to you. If I'm being honest, you don't even need to use fruit, but the micronutrients obviously are so good. So once I have this put in here, I'm going to fill it up with water, and then I'm actually going to microwave this. So the whole purpose behind that is because since this is going in the freezer, I want the oats to kind of soak up enough water so that the creamy comes out with a really good consistency, and the oats, like, obviously have a better texture to them. I notice my creamy is a lot thicker when I do microwave this for like a good minute or two, so that's what I'm going to do first. And while that's going, I'm going to get started on my next meal as well. We're multitasking here. So I have bok choy right here. I get 100 grams of this in this meal. So I'm just going to grab a few stalks and start cutting her up. And what I do for this meal is, since it is bok choy, sweet potato, and salmon, I cut up the bok choy first, and then I toss her in the container, and then I microwave that for 2 minutes so that it softens it up and it cooks the bok choy. And then I will microwave my sweet potato in a cloth, in a dampened cloth, so that it doesn't, if you microwave it without the cloth, then the skin gets a little burnt, and then it has like a pretty, unfavorable texture. So when you're cooking your sweet potato in the microwave and you're a lazy girl who doesn't have a lot of time, wet down a cloth and then put it in the microwave. Thank me later. But it looks like that's 100 grams, so I'm going to put the lid on top but not close it so that it steams a little bit in the microwave, and then toss her in for 2 minutes. All right, so now that you can see the oats are starting to cook, so are the strawberries. They're starting to soften up. So now I'm going to add in any additional sweeteners or flavorings. So if you watched if you saw earlier, I can't remember if I recorded this or not, this Texas peanut butter flavor, so good. Gonna give this a little PB&J moment. And then I'm also going to add in pure stevia. I do have the powdered form. I just think it looks better, or it tastes better, and it doesn't use up too much of my stevia drops. So that is what I'm going to put in there. Also, if you want, you can add protein powder or something like that, or sugar-free pudding mix, but I just don't have the flexibility to do that, so I don't. But bok choy is cooking. I'm going to quickly toss the stevia in here and then be right back. And once my bok choy is done cooking, then I'm going to toss this back in the microwave for just another minute so that the oats can have a little bit more cook time. Then I'm going to blend it and put it into my creamy so that it is ready for tomorrow. But I do need to grab a sweet potato real quick for this meal. Back in the microwave for a minute. And Sophia has me weighing all of my sweet potato out raw. That's just for the sake of consistency. You want to make sure that, oh wow, 179. Close enough to 180. I get 180 grams of sweet potato in this meal. You want to weigh out your sweet potato raw just because you can't account for exactly how much water you lose after cooking it. So that's why you weigh it out raw, so that it's the same every time and the macros are always perfect. So I have my wet cloth that I only use for sweet potatoes. I'm going to wrap her up, and then I'm going to cook it for 3.5 minutes in my microwave. And while that's wrapping up, I'm going to grab my salmon, and I get 70 grams of that. So I'm just going to cut her up real quick. I don't have a lot left, so I'm going to have to cook more tomorrow. Creamy concoction. Sweet potato going in the microwave for 3.5 minutes. All right. But as for my interview, that went so well. It actually went way better than I could have anticipated. So all is good on that front. I'm so excited. Next semester is definitely going to be really hard for me, especially with time management. I do need to get 300 hours of internship experience. So hope for the best. This school is a little bit more challenging than my last school, and I will be placed in a high school. So we will just see where it takes us and hope that I get as much out of it as I can. And I won't be in prep when that happens, so that'll be nice. I'll have a little bit more flexibility. Right. You know you're in prep when it comes down to the gram. Okay, perfect. I'll put this back in the fridge, and then I'll have to cook some more tomorrow. I smoke all of my salmon and chicken just because it does help it last longer. I was fortunate enough to be the receiver of a smoker. My parents are not very good with technology, and this one was pretty high tech, so I actually got it from them, and it's been a game changer for my prep. It keeps the food fresher longer, and it gives the food a really nice taste. So if you have access to a smoker, I highly recommend using one, especially if you have to batch cook a lot of meat, because it keeps it nice and fresh. So I'm gonna go put these away. And also on deck, I do have a bowl of Gains by Flavor Gang brownie batter. Use code Lena, and some oats, because this is supposed to be my next meal for today. So she's been cooking alongside my other meals as well. So she also has to go in the microwave. So this will go in the microwave first, and then this once the sweet potato is done. So I'm also going to portion out my fruit as well. I get oranges and pineapple. So I get 100 grams of oranges and 200 grams of pineapple tomorrow. As you can see, I'm very efficient at this. My favorite thing about prep is that all of my meals have kind of stayed the same, so that I've gotten into a real groove when it comes to meal prepping. So as long as my ingredients are ready, then I can pretty much throw these meals together as fast as possible. And it's a game changer when you have a really tight schedule like I do. So this is going back in the microwave for a minute. Sweet potato is very hot, so I'm going to let her cool down for a second while I weigh out my oranges. This has been cooked plenty, so what I'm going to do is pop my core and oats. Okay, my whisk is clearly holding on to more of this than I thought. Don't you hate it when your baby whisk or your regular whisk just like holds on to the clumps, and then you have to go in with like a knife or something to get it out? So annoying. So I will grab the blender for this and then blend this up real quick. Since it's already soft, it only takes a few seconds. And there you have it. You have the mixture for the creamy. So I have my creamy pint on standby. I will open her up and then pour her in, just like that. Would you look at that? She's all ready. Freeze her. Takes at least like 8 to 10 hours with this much volume, but I mean, you could prep it in the morning and it would be ready by the evening, or prep it the night before and it'll be ready by the morning. Oh, that tastes perfect. I'm gonna grab my sweet potato and cut her up. This is gonna be so nice too that I was able to do this before I left for class, because there's something so stressful about coming home from a long day, because on Tuesdays and Wednesdays especially, I wake up at like 3:30, 4 in the morning on Tuesday because I have check-ins, and then I do get a little bit more time the next day, and then I have to hit the gym because I have my lift, and then I pull a full 8 hours at my internship site, and then I go straight to class, and then I'm not home until 8 p.m. So quite literally, like, I pull 14-hour days, and you know, this isn't going to be forever, but if I can make it work, so can you. Prep is hard, and being a bodybuilder is tough, but as long as you can manage your time and, you know, just tell yourself that you can do this, as long as you just check off your boxes one box at a time, and also tell yourself that you can do this. Like, it just takes some planning. You can pretty much do anything. So that's how I've been managing being in prep in this semester. But this meal is done. I have the oranges that go along with it on the side. And then I have my pineapple over here. I'm going to pop this back in the microwave for another, I don't know, minute. But look at how good she looks. The brownie batter bowl of Gaines is easily one of the best flavors they have. And then I'm going to prep the meal that goes along with the pineapple. So that is chicken, rice, and... oh, it's just chicken, rice, and honey. I have the chicken and the rice. Also, these containers are my favorite containers for meal prep. They come in a super convenient, like, value pack. And they're super cheap, and they're super good. So, these are just Tubby. Rubbermaid brand. So if you're ever looking for cheap but good quality meal containers, I 1000% recommend those. That I'm interested in is, like, how do people like to cut up their food? I know that, like, I am very particular in the way that, like, I like my meals prepped and, like, my chicken cut up, which is such, like, a weird thing to say, but it genuinely is, like, one of the little things that I do care about. Which, it might be odd, but I'm going to get 200 grams of rice. So I'll just scoop that out. I also need to put together my veggies that go along with my creamy meal, because as you saw this morning, my creamy meal has both, like, an egg omelet vegetable situation and the oat creamy. 25 grams of spinach. And I get 25 grams of mushrooms. I'm a mushroom lover, but I do recognize that some people absolutely abhor mushrooms, so don't look if you don't want it. And then I get 50 grams of bell peppers. Now, I also smoke my bell peppers. I just put them whole onto the smoker, and it gives them a nice flavor, and again, it also makes them last longer in the fridge. So, that is how I do that. And just like that, the veggies are prepped for the morning. I will add eggs to them later. This looks like it's cooked enough. I will go ahead, add my egg whites to them, give her a stir. I also get 100 grams of banana, so I do need to cut up some more banana for this. We'll throw a gram of pink salt on top, and then my honey. Manuka honey, obviously on top, just because it has antibacterial properties and anti-inflammatory properties. Fun fact. And if you have a lot of honey to eat like I do, I would suggest looking at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, anywhere like that, because they typically also have Manuka honey, but it's a lot cheaper. And then I will have, I think, 2 more meals to meal prep. I will probably do that tonight. Maybe. I don't know. I have to see what's in them, because these 2 meals do change from my rest day to my training day. So I always forget what is in them. Chicken, avocado, zucchini, and sweet potato. I forgot I did meal prep this yesterday by accident. So that meal 5 is already ready. I have another meal that I need for tomorrow that's chicken, rice, avocado, and kiwi. So I will prep that as well. We got 50 grams of chicken. We get 50 grams of avocado. 90 grams of rice. Okay, so these are my last 2 meals today besides my oats and my core. I will have one of them before class and then one of them after class. And then I will be done. But all of my meals, except for my pre-workout meal, have now been prepped, which is going to save me so much time when I get home. I'll just be able to come home, shower, and then lay all my stuff out and get ready to go to bed, which is going to be so good. But I'm going to enjoy my oats and core, and then I'm going to head to class. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so we went to class. We are now leaving. But I just wanted to yap a little bit about a really cool conversation I just had with my classmates. So all of my classmates are adults and we're very busy and we all have a lot of things on our plate. And my friend in my class, one of my closest peers, she just asked me a question that I get a lot from people who aren't in the bodybuilding space. I'm gonna move you guys. And I think that's why I'm so willing to make the sacrifices that I make. Bodybuilding has become my life. Bodybuilding has become a part of me that, you know, I have ingrained it into my personality. When I tell people, like, and someone asks me, like, who are you? Like, how would you describe yourself? I say, you know, I'm a student, you know, I'm a hard worker, but at my core, like, I am a bodybuilder. And what it means to be a bodybuilder is to be passionate, to love yourself, to care about your health. And it's so much more than just your physique. It's caring about every aspect of your life and just wanting to be better and to have goals. So when I was explaining to my classmates why I wake up at 3:30 or 4 a.m. on Tuesdays to check in with my coach and then lift and then make sure I eat my meals on time and still go to my internship site for 8 hours and then go straight to class and until like 7:30 at night, and then drive the 45 minutes home and then meal prep for an hour, then get right to bed. And, you know, I don't do anything special or extraneous outside of that. You know, I do that because I love this shit. Like, this is my life and I wouldn't want it any other way. We all have things that we're so passionate about and that we care about in life. And for me, like, I have found that in bodybuilding. And truly, I didn't think that I would ever find a passion like this in my life ever again. I used to play field hockey and that was my life. I lived for it. I played from when I was in kindergarten all the way through my senior year. I was on a club team. I played 6 to 7 times a week, and I had a field hockey stick in my hand for at least 3 hours a day. And that was my life. And all of a sudden when it was over and I had to make the hard decision to not play in college, I was kind of lost. And that's how I landed on bodybuilding, was I needed something to give me purpose and to have passion for. And now, with how much I love bodybuilding and all the gratification that I get from doing the work, I truly would not want it any other way. So, if you're a bodybuilder and you resonate with that statement, you know that this sport is meant for you. And you know that it doesn't matter what sacrifices you have to make. Within reason, obviously. You don't want to put yourself in jeopardy of being unhealthy or sacrificing things for your well-being, but you know that you will make any sacrifice necessary to do better and to reach your goals. And that's how it should be with any of your passions. You should care so much, or I shouldn't say you should, but you ideally would want to care so much that you would do anything to do better, to get better, to achieve what you want to in life. Because in my opinion, like, why do anything if you don't really care? If you don't put all of your heart and soul into it, if it's not like a piece of you. So that's just my little sentimental yap from how I had class today and the conversations that I had, and exposing people who don't understand or don't know about bodybuilding to what it means to be a bodybuilder. But enough of the sentimental yap. I am currently headed home. It has been a long day and we have a very long morning. We have to wake up at 4 a.m. for check-ins. I will bring you guys along for that and bring you guys along for my day tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to look just as hectic as today was, if not more. And I'm so excited to do it. That's one thing that I know I'm on the right path. I am so excited for the grind. I am so excited to do everything I can to just excel and to work hard and to reach my goals. So 4 a.m. wake up,
check in with Sophia. Hopefully we are bringing an even better package than we did last Friday when I checked in. And if we're not, that's okay. But I put in the work this weekend and hopefully I reap the rewards. So I'll see you all in the morning and tell you all how I feel and maybe bring you along for my lift, because tomorrow I believe I have lower body. So that'll be fun. Yeah. See you guys in what'll feel like a minute for you guys, but will be probably about 10 hours for me. So, good night. Good morning. Time for check-ins. Blood glucose monitor. 89. It's kind of high. Alright. 99/67. Pretty good. Let's dance. It's time to put down our pre-workout meal. So we have Flavor Gang Bowl of Gains. I mixed together pumpkin spice with the mystery flavor. Now this mystery flavor is so good. It's very much giving fall. It's giving a little bit of maple. And then obviously we have 100 grams of banana with 20 grams of manuka honey and some chicken on top of here. So I'm gonna heat her up in the microwave. While that's microwaving, I'm gonna take my supplements and drink my L-tyrosine and my electrolytes. Delightful. Alright, now it is coffee time. So clearly, I gotta get out my cold brew cup because we're gonna have a brew. Sassy little cold brew cup. This is a French vanilla brew. I made it with the French vanilla grounds from Aldi's, which are so good. I just went with 8 ounces today because this is pretty strong, so I'll dilute it. And with some Trader Joe's liquid stevia. Like something like with nuts, so we're gonna go with hazelnut today. And I get 2 15 milliliter servings today, so one is gonna go in here. Perfect. Alright, stir this up. She could use another minute, but this is what my morning on Tuesday usually looks like, because I do have a lift before internship and class. So I do get up at like 4:15-ish and get ready, do my check-ins. Speaking of check-ins, I do need to fill out that form. So Sophia uses Kahunas, so that's what this looks like. So I'll go to my check-in. I am 112 right now. So we are gaining weight nicely. She wants us to gain about half a pound to a pound a week, so we are right about in that range. Pre-workout sounds like it's done. I cannot eat my
cream of rice without it absolutely burning my tongue. So I'm super excited about this. But before then, I try at least like 2 to 3 times a week to post my cream of rice concoction on Instagram. So we'll get out the bags that I use. Mystery flavor is dropping Friday, October 31st, by the way. I'm so excited. And then I'm even more excited for what's to come next month. One of my favorite flavors is making a comeback, and y'all are not ready. It beats brownie batter for me, which is saying a lot because brownie batter is the #1 flavor for Flavor Gang. So, pull up Instagram. There we go. Turn that off. So I'm going to munch on this, and then we are going to head to the gym. So let's do this.
If you didn't know, early in the morning at like 5 a.m. is the perfect time to listen to EDM because my brain literally is not functioning, so it just keeps me going and I don't even have to think about the words. So I'm just trying to brace myself for this lower body day because I only have an hour to hit it. And I have to slay it. So we gotta get the energy up. Let's do this. I think I'm gonna be driving home in silence after that. And just like that, we are showered, have eaten, and we are dressed and ready to hit the road to head to my internship site. Today is going to be a very long one because I was prompted of what we were going to do today, and when I tell you that every 15 minutes of our Google Calendar is filled with something different, I mean it. So, I am mentally preparing myself for that. Another busy day, but I'm going to tell myself in my mind, Lena, you can do it. Lena, it's not that hard. Lena, you've done it 1,000 times. And Lena, you are amazing. You've already started your day. There is nothing you cannot do. Every day is a new opportunity. And yeah, every day something exciting is going to happen. Something exciting is going to happen today. Hopefully good. But, I just tell myself all these lovely things during my morning so that I get my mindset straight, that I am prepared to take on whatever challenge happens to be thrown my way, and that we're slaying. The days that I don't put a big emphasis on my mental health and well-being, I can tell. The mornings are so important. And a lot of people start their mornings by scrolling on Instagram or doing something that is not good for their mental health, and you're most impressionable in the morning. So every morning, instead of scrolling on Instagram, which I used to do religiously, or TikTok, now first thing I do is I toss on a podcast that gets my mind straight. Typically it's a Mel Robbins podcast, and I tell myself all these really good things just to make sure that I am feeling good about myself as I go into the day at my most impressionable time. So, if you take one thing away from this video, I hope it's for the first at least 10 minutes of your day, you're not doing something that could harm your mental health, and that you're doing something that could set you up for success. So, now that I've set myself up for success, let's go help these crazy kiddos, because Lord knows they need it. All right, everyone. Today was not for the faint of heart at my internship site. I will not lie to you. But internship is over, which means we get to eat, and then we get to head to class. So, obviously, bell peppers, mushrooms, spinach. Gonna put some eggs with that. And then I have my beloved overnight oats creamy. You guys all saw me make this yesterday. So, gotta let her defrost for a second because she is hefty and I want her right now. But, gosh, today was a long day and I am feeling every moment of it, especially waking up at 4 a.m. Just finding the energy and the will to help these kiddos, especially when, like, not only my body but, like, my mind are tired, is the hardest part about the position that I'm in right now. There are sacrifices I'm willing to make, right? I am willing to wake up at 4 a.m. to do what I need to do, check in with my coach, to check off my boxes, and to do everything that I need to do in order to then get to my internship site and then have enough time for class and all that good stuff. But I'd be a liar if I said it wasn't draining. But we made it through one of the hardest parts of our days, and now we're just rolling with the punches. So it can only go up from here. Boxes are being checked one by one, and I'm just super proud of myself for continuing to go. So we're going to eat, feel good after we eat, and then get this show on the frickin' road. All right, come along with me. Yay. Good morning, everyone. It is once again very early. I've got my cup and it is cold brew time. I'm heating up my pre-workout meal and we are going to get ready and get this show on the road because this is the last of our hard days. So my weight did what it usually does during the week, which is my digestion gets off because it's such a hard few days on my body. My sleep starts to get off just a little bit, and then in turn, like, I get really bloated and I bloat up a few pounds. So I went from 112 on check-in day to 114. So we're not going to stress about that because we know these things happen and that it'll be fine come Friday check-in with Sophia, but that's just what happens to me. Sleep and stress are huge, so if you can manage those very well, then you're gonna be awesome. But if you're in a situation like me where you just have like back to back to back like hard days, you might be in for it for a little while. But don't worry, you didn't gain 2 pounds overnight, like, of fat. But anyways, I digress because it's time to pick what cold brew I want. Open up the fridge. I think today, that one's behind too much crap. I'm going to go with French vanilla. So today feels like a 12-ounce day. I'm gonna be so for real. Normally I only do like 8 ounces, but you know what? At the end of these this long stretch for me, it's just like, it's fine. Like, Wednesday, just get through it. All you need to do is get through it. Doesn't matter what it takes, just do it. And then Thursday, you can really take care of yourself. But Wednesday is just like a never back down, never give up kind of day. Top her off with a touch of ice. And then 15 mils of coffee creamer. Look at that.
She's so cute and gorgeous. All she needs is some Trader Joe's stevia drops. We'll do one of that. And then one of the vanilla. So if you're like me and you use these a lot, like you'll notice I don't do the other flavors of them. That's just because I feel like vanilla goes with everything. I do have the other flavors, but I just like the vanilla way more. But I've been looking at this other brand that has, like caramel, and then they have like butter pecan and maple. Yeah, that's good. So I was thinking about trying this other brand too. Gosh, my microwave is yelling at me. But today we have upper on the menu. I'm so excited because my upper days are genuinely just so much fun, and I've grown to really love and enjoy them. I used to hate them. That was before I grew the fuck up. And now we have grown up and we do love them. Especially shoulder days or like isolation days. So good. Alright. Gorgeous. Let me just fix her up a little bit. Well, actually, I don't think I can. Nothing like a little slop bowl to start my day. Flavor Gang Bowl of Gains, Code Lena, brownie batter, their #1 flavor. My #2 flavor, because strawberry wafer tops it for me. Strawberry wafer's not currently on the site for now, if you know what that means. I'm so excited. But you can use Code Lena for Bowl of Gains. As you can tell, I eat it every morning. It is my favorite meal of the day. And I wouldn't want to start it any other way. But I'm gonna munch on this bad boy, have a great time, and then come back to you sometime later. We'll see what time that turns into, but for you it'll be a second. For me, might be a few hours. So, yeah. So I'm wrapping up my lunch right now at my internship, and when I tell you that I feel so drained right now, like the idea of doing anything actually makes me want to, I can't say that on the internet. Okay, but we only have about 2 hours left of internship, then I get to leave, then I get to have one of my favorite meals of the day, my overnight oats creamy, and then I have to hustle to class. And I bargained with myself. I originally was like, I'm not going to class tonight, but I was like, no, you teach these kids all day that just because they don't want to do something doesn't mean they can't do it or that they can skip it. So taking my own advice, and I bargained with myself and I said, you know what? Even if you just put on a pair of sweatpants and a hoodie, put your hood up, and show up to class and don't say a thing, even if you don't pay attention, you're still there, you still did it, you still did the hard thing. So, the bargain is, I leave here, have my food, get my good coffee, make my cute little coffee TikTok, and then from there, we hit up class, and we just do what we can. So, it is a never back down, never give up kind of day, and I am proud that I am still pushing through. So, even though we're tired, like my body right now, like I hit the crazy upper lift today. I'm so sad that I didn't take you guys with me, because the last 3 lifts that I've had, I have PR'd on almost every single movement, which is crazy, but that's to be expected because I'm eating over 400 carb a day. Like, body needs to get with the program. We only have 6.5 weeks left until we hit the stage again. So, even though I'm exhausted and sore, and I'm getting a lot of crazy looks from other teachers because I'm constantly rubbing out my traps and my delts,
Despite it all, we're still doing it. So let's keep going. I have done everything that I have set out to do and said I would do. I put on a hoodie. You can tell I'm probably getting sick, so this is already not looking good. This is probably why I haven't been wanting to do anything lately, but I put on my hoodie. I got my booty in the car. After I left my internship and had my meal, I picked up my delightful coffee, which I know is going to bring me back to life. For all of you that are interested, this is from my local coffee shop. It is a Fireside Marshmallow Roast, which is like a vanilla marshmallow kind of like toasty flavor. Gosh, it is so good. So much better than regular marshmallow. But I also have all of my meals prepped and ready. I have 2 left. They're in my lunch bag. I will eat one right before class. Oh, dear goodness. I am definitely going to get sick, aren't I? And then I will eat the other one in our class break that normally happens about 2 hours in. And that is just delightful. But I am currently sitting in my car because there's 30 minutes before class. And everyone is always late to this class. I don't know why I'm always in such a rush to get here so fast. But it's probably just the anxiety in me. But as you can tell, as we have gone through the last 3 days, I've gotten progressively more lazy, tired, and run down. This is typically how Wednesday looks. It turns into a never back down, never give up kind of day. And that's fine because we did it. We are 2 seconds away from checking off the last important box of this gauntlet section. And we slayed. We absolutely slayed. But I have all of class today, and I know it's going to be a busy class because last week she told us what we were doing, and it is just so much group work and talking. And I'd rather her just lecture at me and yap at me the whole time, but I know that's not what's going to happen, so that's fine. Let's just hope that she lets us out early so that I can get home and I can meal prep for tomorrow because I have to be at work by 7 a.m. But even if I'm not, I'm just going to get home, do what I need to do like I always do, and get a good night's sleep because your girl needs it. Your girl worked way too hard during her lifts to just let that go to waste. Oh, by the way, the last 3 lifts that I've had, I've PR'd on every movement. I'm feeling great. But this is about time because I am at 415 carb, no cardio. So it's about time that we were getting these results we were looking for because your girl's just trying to grow. And you can't grow without the food. And you can't grow without good sleep and not feeling fatigued and tired like I am right now. So we are going to take care of that in the rest of the week. Get through this. And then hopefully tomorrow, because it's a rest day, take my time feeling better and do a lot of recovery work so that I show up absolutely slaying for Friday check-ins. But enough yapping. I will yap at you after class, maybe during meal prepping, and then we will wrap up this gauntlet week video that I prepared for you. So I hope you've all had a fun time watching me struggle bust my way through the week. It's been so much fun yapping at you, and I will see you in just a second. But for me, 4 hours. Okay, bye. Great news, everyone. I made it through just fine, unscathed, and well accomplished. Week 10 of grad school is over and done with, and now I just get to be a silly little bodybuilder for the next 4 days. I'm so excited. Of course, I probably still have coursework to do, but seems like a future Lena problem to me. But now we are headed home. Gonna take this 45-50 minute drive like a champ, go home, and then I am going to shower and meal prep and get to bed because we have work at 7 a.m. Slay. But tomorrow's a rest day, so I get the privilege of not having to lift, which I have mixed feelings about. I have been loving training lately. it's been so fun, especially the last few lifts where it's just I'm PRing on every movement. But also, my body hurts, so she needs rest. But yay for the end of gauntlet time. I will see you at meal prep time.
We've made it home safe, and it is once again time to meal prep. And honestly, I'm going to be going Mach 10 during this meal prep because I am so tired and ready to get to bed. So let's see if we can set a new PR on this, because your girl can't wait to get to bed. But I am going to prepare most, if not all, of my meals for tomorrow. While I could make some of my meals fresh, I don't know if I will or won't, or if I'll have the energy. So we're just going to be working as fast as possible. I have something in the microwave already, so preparing your creamy first. Strawberries, you know the drill. You know I love a peanut butter strawberry PB&J moment. Just like that, my hardest days are over and it's time to get to bed. So I'm just going to lay here, watch a little TikTok, unwind, brush my teeth, and then go to sleep. I hope you all enjoyed seeing what a glimpse of my hardest days during grad school and prep look like. And if you have any questions, let me know, because I might do this again sometime, because it does change with the end of the semester coming up. So I will see you for the next one, and thanks for joining me. Good night.